Hi there, we're here with Jay. He's here for a 4-month follow-up. Here is Jay's suture line. We did a max size case. We harvested Jay all the way from one side to the other side. We went as long as we can go and as wide as we can go and got as much donor hair out of there as possible. The suture line started here. This is actually a suture line. That's the beginning of it right there. Okay, so that's where it started. This is it right here. So let's take them all the way around. See, now you can kind of get this. See this? That's the line. And that goes all the way across. So if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, it's undetectable. That's the suture line right there. This is Jay's new hairline. These are all 1 hair grafts coming in. Okay, so the little 1 hair grafts, 1 hair at a time. Super soft, super natural. As you can see, even at 4 months, it just looks like it's thin, but this is going to grow for another 8 months for its final result. No one would ever be able to tell that's a hair transplant. No scar, no detectable grafts.
So we're here with Jay. I'm having a hard time finding the suture line in here. I think that's it right there. So you can see that, actually it's very hard to see, but there's very, very light indication of anything. And if you just look right in there, you'll see that it is really no larger than the wrinkle in the middle of your palm. There's just where you see it, almost like the part of a hair. I mean, you have no problem with the short hair covering up anything back there because there's really nothing there.
Not anymore.
We're going to look in the frontal, about 3 to 4 centimeters in the front part of this scalp. He's 8 months post-op, so although it looks like an absolute full head of hair, Jay still has a lot of growth left. As we go through this, you can see with the dark hair and the light scalp, it's a completely natural look as I comb through his hair. At 8 months post-op, you're seeing what Dr. Bolton did with what we call the Bolton whirl. The way the hair lies, it lies in a natural pattern. Dr. Bolton was able to identify with the few hairs that he had left actually how the hair whirls and swirls, and continued in that pattern, which made it, which makes it absolutely natural. So you can see how the hair just lies.
So this is my 7th month coming for another visit to Dr. Bolton's office, my hero. And I gotta say that my surgery is just, it's absolutely phenomenally incredible. I don't even know what kind of words to use because it just looks better and better every single time, every single day. I saw the before and after pictures today, and I cannot believe that was me. And I'm so excited that I did this. I just can't rave enough to anyone. I mean, please call me, email me. I mean, I'm just so excited that he did such an amazing job and such a pleasurable experience, and that my results are just so spectacular. I couldn't be more pleased.
Hi there, here we are with our patient Jay. We're about to begin the procedure today. How are you feeling so far?
I feel relaxed, I feel calm, I feel excited. I'm ready for more hair.
So let's take a look at the clock. We're starting the case right now at 5 after 4. Right now what we're doing is we're harvesting the donor tissue. We're excising the old suture line, so that way we're going to leave Jay with just the 1 suture line. So even though it was a great suture line, we're going to remove it. So that way if Jay chooses to cut his hair short, he'll just have the 1 trace line, which a lot of the guys today are so concerned about suture lines, which for the life of me I don't understand why, but I get it. But at any rate, all we're doing is just harvesting the donor right now. And how you doing, Jay? Are you having any discomfort?
No, just feel a little pressure.
Now, do we pay you for these testimonials?
No, you do not pay me for these testimonials. This is all free.
Do you think we should pay you for these testimonials?
Sure.
I get it's funny because we get patients that will say, "Ooh, those are paid actors." You know what? Because you did such a good job on your first testimonial, people thought you weren't even. They thought you were an actor. Are you an actor, Jay?
I'm not an actor. I'm a real person.
You're a real person.
And I'm here on my own free will.
Okay.
I'm a professional photographer, and I chose to be here to make my appearance look more young and healthier.
So more youthful.
More youthful. And having such a great experience the first time, I have all the confidence in the world that Dr. Bolton will do his absolute best as he only can do. I have no idea what you're doing, and I really don't want to know.
Jay, why don't you tell us how you're feeling?
I feel absolutely no pain at all.
Okay, so we just got through harvesting the donor, and what we did is we excised the entire old donor suture line out. We were able to pull out 33 square centimeters of tissue. As you can see here, this is a ruler, which is 12 inches, which is also approximately 30 centimeters. So there's 30 centimeters, then we have an additional about 3 centimeters on each thing. So each one's approximately 33 centimeters. Now when you take a look here, you'll see this little white area. The little white area is where we dissected out the suture line, the previous one. So that's just some initial scar tissue. What's very important about the donor tissue is when you're harvesting it, you want to minimize any and all transection. Transection is when that follicle is cut from the bulb of the follicle to the top where it comes out at the surface of the skin. So by minimizing the transection, we maximize the overall amount of hair by increasing the overall yield. So even with this scar in place, let's take a look at how we did here. It's nice and clean. You can see all these hairs are nice and intact, where the bulb goes from the bottom to the hair follicle all the way out to the skin. Everything's nice and clean and intact. Now when we go through the scar, you can see once again very little transection because there's no hairs in the scar, so everything's nice and clean the whole way through. So there's a couple of, this is what a transected hair looks like right here. So where you see these two cut hairs where they don't have a bulb, that's a transected follicle, okay? So those basically are no good. So we lost 2 hairs there. But outside of that, let's look at the rest of the strip. The rest of the strip is nice and solid the whole way. So you're talking on this whole scar, you might only have lost maybe a few hairs in the harvesting process, which is absolutely terrific. Now you can take a look at this other strip here. It looks nice and clean. Same thing, we're just always checking for any transection. And you can see everything looks nice and clean. No transection the whole way throughout. Everything looks just perfect. So we got a really perfect yield. And you can just kind of follow it yourself, and you can see the bulb of the follicle is the little dots, and then that's the hair follicle, and then that's where it comes out. So you can see the top where it comes out. So the strips are just beautiful. We got a really beautiful harvest, which means we're going to be able to get a lot of hair for our patient. You can see it's nice and intact the entire way. There's virtually no transection on either of the strips, which means we're just going to get a lot of hair. So the average hair a patient will get out of a centimeter or a square centimeter of hair is, it could average anywhere from 200 upwards to 280 if they have really high density. Jay's density falls pretty midline, so he's an average, which might yield him anywhere between 225, maybe 250 hairs per square centimeter in the back where it's super dense. So if I have 33 square centimeters of tissue, that means let's just show how the numbers work. Let's say we got 200 hairs per 1 square centimeter. We have 33 square centimeters. That means we're going to yield about 6,600 hairs. And as we talked about, some hairs did get transected, although it's very little. So we're going to yield well over 6,500 hairs just from what we got here. And that's on the low end because its density was higher than the 200 hairs per square centimeter. We just did the procedure, where we took that suture line and we harvested that donor. And so let's take a look at this. This is that suture line right back there, hidden in there. So it's hidden within the hair. So now you can see the little suture line in there, hidden behind. So then the hair covers up completely on top. So it's 100% undetectable. Let's take a look at that. That's it, right there. So you can't see anything at all the whole way around. And this is what it looks like when it's closed. So you can see it's completely undetectable right after we harvested the donor. Can't see anything at all. Alright, we just completed Jay's procedure. If you recall, we started this procedure at approximately 4 o'clock. It's right now about a 8:15. So in about 4 hours and 15 minutes, and we're completely done now. We've restored Jay's hair by recreating the hairline again, filling in and building behind that with the multiple follicular unit grafts, the bolt and bundles, and then went into the crown, and we're going to show you that in a second. But more importantly, how was your day, Jay? How did everything go?
This was extremely comfortable, very relaxing, stress-free. I almost feel like I'm on vacation.
Well, you don't get a better answer than that. You know, a vacation. He took a vacation from his work to get about 6,500 hairs and about approximately 4 hours at a time. Anyways, let's take a look at what we did here. So you can kind of get a feel for what happened today. We completely restored Jay's hairline with all the little tiny 1 hair grafts all the way around the front. Little 2-3 hair grafts back there. And then all the way back here we have those multiple follicular unit grafts, which create the density. So we went in between all the way through, blending in between where we were before. Then what we did is we went through, filled in this top area. So we went all the way through the top, blended all the way in through the sides over here, so you can see the grafts all the way through over here. And then we went in the crown, and then we restored into the crown, built a spiral all the way around. So these grafts came in an angle that were going like this. These are going this way. These are going this way. You got it built all the way in and through the existing hairs all the way around. So you can see those little grafts in there. Those are all little grafts that we put in there. If you want to kind of get a feel for what a graft looks like, so let's take one of these guys out. Okay. So here's a graft that just came out. So these little black dots are the bulb of the follicle. Okay. So if you look at it from the top, you can see there's about 2 or 3 follicular units in it, and each little separate dot's a hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hairs in that one particular graft. Now a lot of people are saying, oh well, that's a plug. That's not a plug, that's a slit graft, okay, that went into a tiny little slit, and that's the way it came out naturally. So this is the way it's going to go back in. This is what Mother Nature did. We don't want to take these tiny 1 hair grafts that we use in the front for the softness and the naturalness in the crown area, because we want to help achieve more density for the patient. If we only use these tiny little 1 hair grafts in this crown area, we're going to get a very limited result. I can take one of these multiple follicular unit grafts and take one of these and break it up into 8 of these hairline grafts and spread it out, but that does a disservice to the patient. The patient's going to get much less of a yield, and it's going to not look as full or as natural. So that's why we don't do it that way. We use the multiple follicular unit grafts, the bolt and bundles, in order to help achieve more density for the patients, in order to help get them out of here with fewer procedures, and that's why we do it the way we do it.
Okay, here we are. Jay has finished just barely 4 hours. It's hard to believe that he just finished 4 hours of a procedure, and the best is yet to come. But if we zoom right in and take a look at that hairline, man, you're golden, my friend. $1 million. Fantastic. How do you feel?
I feel great, and I'm confident that my success is going to be equal, if not better, to the way it was last time. And I remember last time, within 4 months, I was showing major progression. So although I know you say, a year is when everything's going to really start to show up, I'm pretty confident in 4 months I'm going to exceed those expectations.
Hi there, here we are with our patient Jay. Jay's here for a 10-day post-operative visit. So we did a max harvest hair transplant procedure. We harvest all the way from the one side, we take it all the way around to the other side. We harvest as much donor hair as we possibly can get in that one session. Now Jay had a previous session, for those of you who have been following along. So Jay had a previous suture line. So what we did is we removed Jay's old suture line and left Jay with one suture line. Whoa.
And you can't even find it.
Wow. Dude.
You can't find it.
Okay. Wow. And this is 10 days. We just did this. This is 10 days.
Wow.
Holy smokes, buddy. Look at that.
Keep plugging. Keep plugging.
Look at that. So you can. So this is this shaved hair you're seeing here is where we shaved it from where the area was we're going to harvest from. Holy smokes.
It's like Ripley's. Wow.
So you can see this is the 10-day point. Look at this. It's an undetectable suture line at 10 days. So I get patients that are so concerned about the suture line. Well, here's how the suture line should come out if you're a good patient.
That's insane.
So anyways, so follow it all the way around. And all this little crusting will go away. That's just part of the healing process. And as you can see, that's undetectable. See that, Cookie?
It's amazing.
How was the procedure for you, my friend?
Procedure was quick, easy, painless. Didn't feel a thing.
Quick.
It was unbelievable. It's just as easy, just as comfortable as the first one, if not better.
Awesome. Excellent. And now it looks like you already got all your scabs and growths gone.
I didn't even know they were there. Josh had to tell me that they were there. I run my hands through my hair and I feel nothing.
So
I couldn't even tell that they were even there.
did you have any swelling, anything
I
unusual?
had no swelling, no discomfort. The crust came off within the first couple of days.
Wow.
The healing process seemed like if it wasn't as exactly as it was in the past, this one seemed like it was even better.